Good morning, everyone. You'll notice I'm not very dressed up for this presentation, if we call it that. I spent a little time in a car yesterday, actually about 8 hours, driving back from Northwest Missouri, where I spent Thanksgiving with my family, including my 95-year-old mom, who's doing pretty well. And as we headed home, we were caught in a snowstorm that hit the Midwest yesterday, and what normally takes 6.5 hours took 8.5 hours. And for those of you who know me and my patience level, it was a trying time scooting along in a blizzard between 20 and 30 miles per hour for 2.5 hours as we were redirected west from Emporia 50 miles and then back south to the interstate down around El Dorado, Kansas. Anyway, an exciting time and a new adventure on a Sunday afternoon. But after that time in a car, I just knew I had to get on the treadmill and move some muscles this morning. So decided to hop right off that, cool off a little bit, and get on here and share a few thoughts. This morning, I turned on the TV and I noticed what some of you probably noticed. And that was the story about our southern borders being stormed. And, gosh, what a challenge it certainly is for our country. But it also caused me to think more on a micro level and how that concept applies to our businesses. So the question, hitchhiking on that news story, is simply this. Where are your businesses, or where is your business being stormed? Where are your borders being stormed? From what direction? By what manner? By what method? By whom? How? What force? And it caused me to think that as we approach year end, now would be a good time to sit down and use the concept we commonly refer to as SWOT. That strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Overarching those four terms, I like to create the trend umbrella. The umbrella called trend or trends. Take a broader look at the trends in the marketplace from a macro point of view. What's happening? And underneath that umbrella, then go through the process. Look at your strengths. And do they put you in a strong competitive position or not? What about weaknesses? Sometimes I like to refer to those as challenges more than weaknesses. But we all have weaknesses. We all have gaps in that border that we're trying to protect. And so look at those, look at opportunities, and look at threats. These could be coming from any direction. We don't know where they're coming from. And the worst of those are the ones that we don't know, the blind spot. We know what we know. We know the things we don't know. But what's frightening is what we don't know that we don't know. And those could come anywhere. And with today's technology, they can spring up overnight. They can be well capitalized, even crowdfunded. And they can be a formidable competitor. So I want you to think about that as we approach year end. Think about where your borders are being stormed, where the gaps are, where the threats are coming from. Sit down with your team, sit down with your marketing team, your sales team, and identify all those processes and the weaknesses, the weak points in each one. Look for that weak link in the chain because it can all come apart and it can come apart very quickly. So thought I'd hitchhike on that story. Not to diminish it, not to make it seem less important than it really is for our country. But nonetheless, that theme just struck me as being something that we could apply to our businesses as well. So I wanted to share that. Hopefully that spurs some thinking on your part. You can hitchhike on that, sit down with your folks, your team, and make some good use of that concept. Be talking to you later about a different topic. Hope this works out okay, and I hope you have a stunning day. If we can help you with any of this, let us know. Take care.